Good evening, everyone. I want to start by saying that although acting is and always will be my first passion, my second dream job has always been to be a late night talk show host. I've always been captivated by their ability to intertwine the day's happenings with comedy, and I truly believe it's an art form, one that is honed by collaborating with many different people and mastered with years and years of practice. I have neither of those things. But what I do have is time on my hands, a love of staying up to date, and a love of comedy. So I thought, why not try writing an opening monologue? Despite the fact that almost every late night host said that it sucks to do an opening monologue with no audience in front of you to react to you. What could go wrong? Everything you're about to hear is written exclusively by me, although there is a nod to an old Kimmel joke at the end. I have no suit and tie, no makeup team, no fancy studio, not even any graphics above me to help emphasize my point. Basically, I looked at everything that's been proven to work for late night hosts and I threw it out the window because I really wanted to make a unique impression on my first time doing this. So, join me as I try this out and try and find my voice. And without further ado, here's the news. Now, obviously, the two biggest pieces of news that impact our day-to-day lives are COVID and climate change. And the latest staples of everyday life to be impacted by both of these is travel. Just this week alone, thousands of flights across all airlines were canceled due to a combination of the Omicron variant spreading and unseasonably severe weather. When asked for comment, United Airlines said, yeah, our flights were totally canceled for that reason. Well, all of these airlines might want to be reading Bloomberg Business Week, as they just published an article that said when it comes to businesses, COVID excuses are for losers. Which would make a little bit more sense if we weren't definitely still dealing with COVID. That's like saying pandemics are for people who die. Us living folk are doing just fine. Well, the article states that when it comes to your business, it's not COVID that's hurting you. It all boils down to problem-solving issues. As in, if you get COVID and don't take the excuse of staying home from work, you now have the problem to solve of all of your other employees having COVID as well. Now, the article was complimentary at one point, saying the average consumer is now savvy to the supply chain, safety, and staffing challenges being well-established parts of the market, not just new COVID blows. Which isn't really making the point they think it's making, right? It's like saying COVID excuses are bullshit, just figure it out. Oh, we're understaffed and don't have safe working conditions? Wow, that's just part of the market. We were like that before COVID, not our fault. Now, you know who could use some better COVID excuses? President Joe Biden. CNN reported that Biden concedes not enough has been done to expand testing capacity. I don't know about you, but that seems like a far cry from accountability to me. Imagine if you were in class and you had a teacher that showed up late every day and said, I'm going to teach you all something. And then when everyone fails the final exam, he just stands there looking at a copy of the test and goes, man, more could have been done to teach you all something. Oh, here's a quick one. Conservators opened a time capsule found under the now removed statue of former Confederate General Robert E. Lee. Upon opening, they found just pretty standard stuff, old coins, old bullets, and such. However, that differed from what historians thought they might find, which was the escaping sound of Lee saying the N-word one last time. Let's end on some positive news, shall we? The Cincinnati Bearcats are undefeated heading into their match against Alabama, as they look to be the first Group of 5 team to ever win a playoff game. A potential for an historic day for the Cincinnati Bearcats, obviously, made more significant by the fact that to get there, they had to beat their long-standing rivals, the Minnesota Moose Peacocks. A tough team for those Bearcats, those Moose Peacocks. Moose Peacock, incidentally, newly tapped to be the mascot for Pride. The moose peacock. It's loud, it's proud, and oh shit, it's running into the crowd. Well, that has been the news, everyone. I wanted to have a special guest on tonight to celebrate my first time doing this, but for some reason, George Clooney is not returning my calls. So until that time, it will just be me here. But thank you so much for watching, and until next time, have a great night.